Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And we got some computers behind us. We are going high-tech today, aren't we?
Appears that way.
Turn around and do some work. Jeez, what are you doing? Today we're going to talk about something or other that a lot of people want to do. And you've had, I'd say, 50% success doing it. And I've had 0% success doing it.
Nice.
And it's starting your own website.
Okay.
And you've done very, very well on the specialty site that you have.
Yep.
But not so well on the main site. Now, how long have you had a website, and what's your history with it?
So the MR-Magazine site's been on at least 10 years now, I think. Pretty close.
Probably longer than that, yeah.
At least 10 years. And then we branched out a couple years ago and separated the adult site from that, which is dirtymagazines.xxx, and we've had a lot of success with that. We've been building that up over the last couple of years. The other site, we've had moments of building them up and advertising and stuff, but it hasn't been as successful.
And what would you attribute the success of one and the lack of success to the other?
Well, I think the one's a niche, so I think that really helped me. And we pushed it once eBay got rid of the adult stuff, so I put more time and effort into.
And I want to give a shout out to eBay. They allowed you to push it as well.
Yes.
Allowed you to notify customers of the site, and that's thank you very much, eBay. That definitely did help. They realized that they would not have the audience anymore, that you would not be competing with them.
Correct. Yeah.
And they were more than generous in allowing you to do that. And I wanted, again, we do thank them very much for that.
Yeah. So I kind of saw it coming, so I saved all my orders from over the years from PayPal, from eBay for the adult items, and then we sent out flyers, mailers, and so forth. And definitely, at this point, we have over 1,000, I guess you'd call them subscribers or watchers that are, part of the
people
database.
who signed up on the site, give their details, etc. Yep. Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now, why is Mr. Dash Magazine or MR Dash Magazine? Why is that not?
I just think it's when people first think, well, if I need to buy a comic book or a magazine or a record or a toy or a xylophone, anything, they're going to be going to eBay, they're going to be going to Amazon. They're not going to think of going to Mr. Magazine.
Now, what about paying for SEO and all that sort of thing?
I've never been a fan of paying for the clicks. I was thinking about doing some advertising this year instead of doing like local advertising for my store. Maybe put that money into the two websites and see how that goes.
Now, what about, I do know that you include little mailers with the eBay orders. How does that work?
Every order, they get a flyer for the Mr. Magazine site. And, we've had a couple sales here and there, but we really don't get much kickback at all.
And I've always seen the need for something on the side. And, well, let me ask you this. Why would somebody out there want to have their own website? A few different reasons, but why would you want to have the website?
Well, I think part of it's the fees, for starters. The eBay fees, it's up to 12% or even more at this point. Where it would be a lot lower, it'd be maybe 3%. You're talking 10% difference. If you're doing, $1 million a year, you're talking $100,000 you're leaving on the table for eBay's pocket. So definitely, now, in this day and age, you want it in your own pocket if possible.
Well, and I think the other reason is, we both have stores through Shopify, Papergoy.com, and there are rules that you need to follow for Shopify, and there are fees for Shopify for all the various, the checkout and all those various things. Right. So it does add up there. But the rules on Shopify are much less onerous than they are on eBay or Amazon. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one big reason you could step on a landmine without even knowing that you're doing so on eBay or Amazon, and all of a sudden you're off the site, and what was your backup plan?
Right.
I go back, again, as I was saying, I go back to the days of eBay Pro Stores. I was trying to get something going on the side with eBay Pro Stores, and we're going, 2003, 2004. Oh, wow. I was trying to do stuff on the side there. Never really made the plunge on a website, papergoy.com, until recently, because, again, it's expensive.
Yeah.
My website got done on the cheap compared to yours because you were the guinea pig on that. And, the developer had done Mr. Magazine, or MR Dash Magazine, and then had done your adult site as well. So through Shopify. So at that point, it was just I know to do this, I know to do that, and so she really didn't have to do any research or any extra work. But then you have all those fees. I know a friend of the channel, Auction Professor, talks about using InkFrog. We use Sellbrite in order to get your items over. Now, you don't actually need to do that, I don't believe. I believe, you do to get the items over, but if you just wanted a standalone website, you don't have to.
Correct.
But we read all the time about various people that have done very, very well on their own site. I remember sending you stories 10, 12 years ago about people that were selling bubble wrap. I do remember that, and a couple of other things that
Cardboard.
just left eBay, and we're not using them anymore, and we're a standalone site, and we're making more money from that. But I think the biggest thing is being able to drive traffic to your site, and admittedly, I'm not doing a very good job of it. Papergoy.com. I've got the card that I sit there and I put in everything, but as much of anything else, it's a two-sided card. We showed it on a live show Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, where the one side advertises Papergoy.com, the other side has the OCR code to take us to the channel. And when I put it in, I'm actually put it in the site so people see the OCR code, because I think that jumps out at you more.
Sure.
And B, I would rather drive people to the channel. Do comment down below if you found this due to the card. I do like to know that that's working, because again, I'm expecting that I'm going to lose money on the website for years. It's kind of almost, in my head, an insurance policy.
Right.
And maybe that's not the right way to think about it. But what am I going to do? I'm certain you get them, because I get them on the Papergoy email opportunities that we can put you first in search.
Yeah,
we can do this, we can do that.
Sure.
And I'm looking at it going, I don't know. But do I want to put that money into it?
Well, let me be the guinea pig this Christmas season. See how it goes.
But that's the other thing, too, is these people promise you all this stuff, and we don't know anything about that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
There's so many different ways you can drive traffic, some good, some bad. Everybody out there selling to you promises you that they can drive a lot of traffic.
Right.
We don't know if it's true or not. I guess we could go down the rabbit hole, start checking reviews, all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
But even conventional advertising, what do they say about it? They say 50% of it works. The only problem is nobody knows which half.
Well, yeah, because we use those two companies for me every year, and they both say they're doing great for me. And I don't know who's telling the truth. Maybe they both are, but for the amount of money I'm putting into the budget, it's not a ton of money, so I just keep paying it every year. It's working for toy category, so we're number one in toys. We're getting up there in sports cards and so forth. Magazines, we're up there. So, as the years go on, your name's out there longer. I think you get moved up kind of that way.
Now, do you put any, I know you do on the adult site, but on the regular site, do you put any exclusive items that are only listed on?
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't put much time into doing anything like that. Yeah.
And that's another problem, too, is how much time do you want to end up putting into things? There are only so many hours in a day.
Right.
You're paying employees.
Exactly. Yeah.
You almost would have to take it as a lost leader for a year, find somebody that doesn't mind putting things up on there, and tell them, okay, for the next year, I'm not making any money off this guy.
Right.
I'm putting him, 20 hours a week at $15 an hour. I'm investing $300 a week, so $15,600. Do not try that at home. Into building up the website, and you got $15,000 at that point of sunk cost into it.
Sure.
Which again, you don't know if you're going to end up selling anything off of. Versus listing it on eBay, some of it's going to sell, and you can bring it over to the website, using the Sellbrite in order to bring it over. So I guess our experience with the website is if you have a niche category, such as the adult site, and you will get traffic that's not available on eBay. People will find it, seek it out, but you had to do a fair amount of advertising to get. What would you? Let me ask you this.
Sure.
What would you think that you invested in advertising? By that I mean mailers. By that I mean et cetera, et cetera.
Well, even labor for typing all the addresses in those thousands of addresses. The sorting, man, I gotta say at least $2,000-$3,000 between all that.
Oh, that's really not too bad then.
Yeah, it'd be under $5,000. So yeah.
Okay, that's less than I thought. I thought we were talking $5,000 to $10,000 between the postage. Two?
So you say 50 cents of postage. We send out, say, 2,000 flyers, so that's $1,000 in postage. A couple $100 in envelopes, that's $1,200. Other than that, just the labor rate and some sorting. So yeah, I would say 3,000 maybe.
About the printing of the flyers, et cetera, et cetera. Did that cost you anything?
Yeah, $500.
500. Oh, you said okay.
So yeah, at least 3,000. Less than 5 though.
Okay. So $3,000 on a niche website, and you got it up and running, but you also had a customer list to start from, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct.
So hopefully that helps you some out there, because I know a lot of people want to start their own websites. And again, great idea, but you got to get the traffic over. And given that there's only so many hours in a day, you're going to have to accept it as a lost leader for a number of years. You just are going to, or months at least, maybe years. Yeah. Just because, and the hardest thing I think is to accept that if you do want to build your website up, that I'm listing something today, and I do the same thing on eBay because I do a lot of very long tail items, that I will list something and I say, I'm not going to see any money out of this deal for a year, or I'm not going to make any money out of the deal for a year, and I'll sell an item here or there. But these are truly long tail items. You know, they're obscure 1930s German books. These are going to take a long time to sell to the right customer. You almost got to think that most things you're putting on your website are that same way.
Right.
You know, and again, you can do it, not a problem. I mean, Mile High Comics does booming business. Mm-hmm. They've also got a gigantic inventory. That took a long time to build up.
Sure.
You know, if I decided I wanted to be Papergoy Comics, what am I gonna list? I'll list 5 items a day. How long is it gonna take me? Right. It's gonna take me 1,000 years to get as many items
exactly.
as they have.
Right.
You know, I list 5 items a day. You know, end of a year, I've got, you know, whatever, 1,800 items. Where am I going?
Sure. Yeah.
Where am I going? I'm not going anywhere.
Not only you're competing with eBay and Amazon, now you're competing with Mile High and all the other big comic stores too.
Yep. So, you know, now granted, you got Action Comics #1, different story. That's will drive traffic to your site, no doubt whatsoever about it. But if you're sitting there and you're listing, you know, Chippendale #14, I'm sure it's a fine comic.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. At least not great. You know, it's not going to work very, very well until you end up getting thousands and thousands of products up there for people to buy. So hopefully that helps you. I know everybody always talks about having a website, and do I think it's a good idea? Yes, I do. If you're in the position that you can accept it not to be making money, kind of almost as an insurance policy is how I'm looking at it. It's there. It's in my name. I've got the flexibility that I can work with it in the future. But as to putting a lot of resources in it, I don't have the time. Maybe when I retire, maybe I'll put an hour or 2 a day into it. Right now, just kind of as a placeholder, it's there. So hopefully that helps you some. Do let us know if you do have a thriving website, how you ended up doing it, whether SEO, whether paying for the services to advertise works for you. If you have any out-of-the-box ways to advertise, definitely do let us know about it, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.